All the disrespect, the free play, better button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of checking these buttons. It is Wednesday. We posted late last night for that HT. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Now, we got some critical buttons, man. Kind of like breaking news. FGC's having a damn meltdown right now. We got articles, people's reactions, some people talking about boycotting, all this stuff. Without further ado, chapters, sub button, all that good stuff down below, but we's about to unpack. Let's go. All right, now into them first set of buttons. These set of buttons, we talking about EVO has officially sold to Saudi Arabia. FGC having a damn meltdown. People are already talking about boycotting buttons that need to be checked, but there's more to it. It's not just that simple. There's some levels to this. So let's unpack the way it was presented to me. Like I said, links down below, all that good stuff for any articles that are featuring this, because I believe we covered one from Event Hubs as well. That way you can check out all their information. But without further ado, let's go. Right here, starting with Esports Advocate saying, mastering the moveset, tagging EVO, organizer RTS has been fully acquired by Saudi Arabian megacity project Qiddiya. Another one, I believe there's another source talks about this as well, which is crazy because we were talking about something like this the other day. Right here saying Qiddiya announces its full acquisition of RTS in a strategic move to enhance the esports sector and support the sustainability of EVO Championship as the largest global fighting game since 1996. An important step forward empowering the fighting games community and achieving its full or future aspirations. So they're talking about they're empowering EVO, right? But others are responding, starting right here with Big Bird saying Qiddiya Gaming now owns RTS, which EVO is a part of. EVO Saudi soon? Others are like, I have a bad feeling about this, or big yikes, fucking knew it, and EVO really been going downhill ever since they got rid of Smash. That one has over 500 likes. But getting even deeper, some are like, well, hopefully EVO's payout will be bigger now. For as grand as EVO is, the money is kind of on the low side. Or so, will they now throw gay people off of the roof as an event? Damn, that one has over 1.3 thousand likes, y'all. And the worst thing about EVO is the fact that it's been happening 1 billion times a year instead of one Super Bowl that it's been for a long time. The second worst thing, it's attracting and hosting parasites of the FGC. Hopefully a good percentage of them will get fumigated in this, and that one has over 200 likes. And it goes even deeper. Others are like, I have faith in Rick, Markman, and the Canon twins to keep EVO as close as possible to what we know as EVO. But I won't lie, I'm worried for its future. That point gets deeper as well. But others respond saying, people said the same thing about OLW and CS tournaments. They removed skilled players, rosters got changed, people were silenced. They say, if that censor shit or one of its core members leave, then yes, EVO as we know it will cease to be. And then from there, others like Rick, this is the general manager, y'all. This is the general manager of EVO. He said, everything I've worked on in fighting games has been for the ambition to bring our communities together. Inclusivity, community, and connectivity matter to me. It's deeply personal that they remain a part of what I work on, and the future of EVO respects that. That has over 2,000 likes, so we'll get into that in a second as well. Some respond saying, trust, keep it up, boss, or let's do it. You know, they're appreciating what Rick said. Even Big Bird says Rick has never done anything that isn't in line with his values and would never sacrifice that or what's important to him. Have faith in him and trust. But you got other comments like this one saying, let's bring the slave owner community and the queer community together to find a middle ground. Damn, yeah, that one has over 200 likes. So let's take a pause right there. Oh, I'm sorry. Automatic said as well, whatever, y'all are gonna be hyped when they announce the prize pools for EVO now, or that they're gonna be big prize pools for EVO. And there you have it. That's just the first half. We got more. We got a lot more. So let's unpack what they said before. Some are saying, okay, it's going to be a step in the right direction because the prize pools might be going up. That's been a lot, man, that's been a huge topic from day one. Because we've been like, even when EVO was considered the Super Bowl, right? We were like, how is this the biggest thing ever? But the prize pools have been dog shit. People have been talking about, we get pennies. Compared to how many entrances and how much money y'all make, shouldn't the prize pools start going up? Now, throughout the years recently, I think Street Fighter V to now, the prize pools have slowly gone up. But even then, compared to other tournaments, especially, you know, the bigger ones, we're like, it's really nothing. It's more prestige than anything else. Does this possibly mean another EVO in Saudi? Remains to be seen. We got another one in France, possibly another one in Singapore, right? Isn't that next year? So what do we have right now? Like 4 EVOs? Why not add the Saudi? I mean, that makes sense that they're going to do that. This is just me guessing, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if that was announced. Then you got the general manager, Rick, talking about, yo, everything I've worked on in fighting games has been for the ambition and bringing our communities together. It's important to me that they remain a part of what I work on. And others like Big Bird are like, we trust you. He wouldn't sell out like that. I mean, trust in his work, right? But here's the point I want to make before we move on. Rick, I think he means well. This is just me speaking as an outsider. I don't know him personally. From the way that he comes off, the way that he presents himself, and he has so many people in the community that usually stick up for him anytime he's been in the line of fire, right, throughout the years, if there's a question when it comes to EVO. It does seem like he has or he wants what's best for the community, but at the end of the day, you also have to realize he's just a manager. He's the general manager. He's not a owner. He's not a stockholder from what I know. He's the manager. So he has no say in who owns it, who buys it. If they open a second one, not a second one, but if they open a fifth one in Saudi or on the moon or wherever the new one, he has no control of any of that. He just manages them so they can say, all right, you do the one in Vegas, you do the one in France or yada, or Rick could be over all of them, but he manages what happens there, like at the actual EVO. And he can keep that same vibe that we're used to in Vegas or in Japan or something like that. But beyond that, he really has no say. The most he can do is be like, yo, I'm here on the ground at an EVO, wherever the location is, and I'm gonna do my best to give y'all that same feeling that we've been getting in Vegas since day one. That's literally all he can do, but I guess the question then is that enough? Is that enough for the FGC to be like, okay, well, at least it's still gonna feel like EVO, or the fact that, no, we're still selling out at the end of the day and there's new owners that we don't like. So now we have to make a decision, because remember, there was already some people talking about boycotting EWC, not even participating in some events because of the EWC. Now, we just made a video about it, talking about, is the FGC hypocrites over the EWC even bigger now? Saudi is even bigger now, and they're going to continue to get bigger in the FGC. So now what happens? Certain people watching, certain pros, do they leave EVO alone altogether? Either way, it goes deeper because now we got some articles. Right here, Event Hubs posted this saying, this comes after the other previous EVO co-owner and Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC had revealed the sale of their stake in the fighting game event series to Indian-based esports media company Nodwin Gaming last month, which also partially backed by Sony. At the time, Qiddiya announced they had purchased an investment stake in RTS as well, but it seems they quickly decided they wanted the whole thing instead. Damn. All right, going even deeper than that, right here, check this one out. Sony and RTS previously purchased the rights to EVO from the founding Canon brothers back in 2019, where they worked to expand the tournament series and brought in a record number of competitors back in 2024. All right, let's pause right there. Okay, a lot of times, including myself, we have a tendency to forget that the Canon brothers, who we respect, right, who we love, for the most part, I mean, they're OGs in the community. We always mention their names still. Hell, you saw a comment just now where they were like, as long as Markman, who was it, Rick, and the Canon brothers are still part of EVO. But we forget the Canon brothers sold the right to Sony and RTS back in 2019. So technically, the Canon brothers ain't really a piece of the pie anymore. I mean, they could still be there, probably help out, maybe offer some advice. I don't know exactly what they do. I do know they have other things going on right now, but they sold the rights. The Canons have been pieced out back since 2019. And if we don't remember, or if we do remember, I think I don't even fucking remember what I'm supposed to say. What I'm trying to say is, if you do remember, the Canon brothers is the same one that's currently working on 2XKO with Riot Gaming. Oh, it gets deeper. Continuing on saying, this comes as Saudi Arabia has been making broad advance in investments into the fighting game scene by hosting large-scale events like the Esports World Cup and beyond. Back in 2022, Mohammed bin Salman Foundation has purchased 96% of SNK, where we seemingly saw them throw their weight and money around, making the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves a record-breaking prize pool for the SNK World Championship this year. Qiddiya had previously been involved with events like EVO and the Esports World Cup in the past as well. And some members of the fighting game community have previously boycotted Saudi-backed events, but that'll be be more difficult to do now with them essentially co-owning EVO as a whole. EVO has already been expanding to new events and territories, with EVO France coming up later this year and Singapore next year, so there'll be a good chance we could see an EVO held in Saudi Arabia in the year's future too. It'll certainly be interesting to see the future, or what the future holds for EVO Championship Series under the new ownership of Nodwin Gaming. Even the comments underneath that article are all like, this is terrible news. Cordia's purpose is not to make big money, but to whitewash and put a happy face on the corruption crimes by Saudi royal family. And well, unfortunately, I won't be watching EVO anymore, or I'm not happy, but hosting events costs money, so maybe this is a good thing. Or EVO's finals comes from a desert, or EVO finals going from one desert to another, but maybe Riyadh will be cheaper. The FGC lost its soul a long time ago. Saudi Arabia company owning EVO means more money for the players, I guess, or for fuck's sake. But this is the one that sticks out right here. A Saudi Arabia company owning EVO at least means more money for the players, I guess. And there we have it, man. There's more comments. I'll put one on in a second, because I think PL even made that statement that we just talked about. Right here, he said, I'm not supporting EVO because they sold out. But you downloading 2XKO from the same people that sold EVO, understood. Basically, he's saying, make it make sense. And he's talking about the Canon brothers. So that goes that's another layer of the damn onion. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if you're going to boycott that, how about the ones that actually sold it in the first place? They making 2XKO, but you're going to rock with 2XKO? Like I said, there's a bunch of things to this. I don't want to unpack that one right now, because holy crap, we got a lot. We got a lot before us. But here's another point to mention. Now, with the EWC, it's been here for what, 2 years, something like that? We've seen, up to this point, there's quite a few people that have spoke out about it. There's some people that said, like Chris CCH, Sajam, Sonic Fox, that they were like, we're not going to go over there. We actually declined to work with them. We can't support it because, I guess, the history of their country. Chris CCH even went as far to be like, I might not even have a job anymore or a career anymore, because I'm smart enough to know they're here. They're in bed with Capcom and CPT and EVO and all that. So if I really am not down with them, I got to be out altogether. And like I said, he was the only one that I personally saw make a statement like that. Now this. So what happens? It's obviously clear as day. We can't really turn a blind eye to it anymore. They're here. Saudi Arabia is here. So what happens to our Sonic Foxes? What happens to our Sajams, one of the biggest names, or some of the biggest names in the community? What stance do they take now? I'm really interested, because before, like I said, to date, EWC, the way it's going out, 99% of our pros went from all around the country. And it's not just the West. Obviously, I think we have a tendency to believe that, or to think that everybody thinks like us, and we're just the West. Everybody else in the different world has different outlooks on the EWC. Hell, some of them have negative outlooks on us here in the West. You know what I'm saying? So it's this whole thing. But like I said, you saw when these tournaments went on, 99.9% of all of the big names still win, including commentators. They were still down. So I don't think at the end of the day, you're going to see any boycotts from them. If anything, this is their livelihood. This is their money. Maybe it does mean the money goes up. And I think they'll all be happy for that. Since we didn't really see any boycotting from them, I'm talking about the 99%, I don't see any boycotting from them for this. It's basically the same thing that's been happening. But will we now see a divide between the pro players and just the casuals or the community? Because there has been a lot of vocal members of the community that are pissed about this movement, and they're pissed even more now because they're like, yo, what is this for EVO? What is this for FGC? Do I continue to boycott? What do some of those big names that we mentioned do at this point? I don't know, it just gets deeper. And obviously it's inevitable. The other question people bring up is like, EVO happens a billion times. EVO happens a billion times now. It's losing its prestige, you know, in a way. Some people still look at it the same, and other people like it because they're like, I could never travel, so it's closer to me now, which that's a reasonable point. But others are like, it should be one. Hell, even Arslan Ash said it. It should be one. If you're going to make other branches of it, name it something else. But there should be one, which should be the Super Bowl of the year. But that's not the case. Obviously, we've known that for quite some time. Now we got 4, possibly 5 coming up. But you know what is going to be one? EWC. That's going to be one, and that's still going to be the most money. We're still going to have CPT, but think about it. How much longer can Capcom afford to keep putting up $1 million? We didn't even think they were going to do it this last year. A lot of people were surprised because they're like, oh shit, they're going to do it again. But they won't keep doing it. I mean, they might do it for the next version of the game, but eventually I would feel either they have to start lowering it, which is going to make EWC that much more prestige, or maybe because they're cool with Saudi now, they get some money from them. I don't know. I don't know how that works. And maybe they keep the 1 million as well. I don't know. But what I do know is there is now an officially division because you have the pro players that have been doing what pro players have been doing. Let's be real. It's been happening. They've been going at it. Everybody has their own different opinions. And I would say you saw most of the big names in the community already are doing it. Even Rick, the manager, who's like, yo, I will hold down EVO. I'll manage this. That's great, right? But at the end of the day, you're not working for Saudi. You've been working for them. You're in partnering with them. So it's like we are at the end of the day all saying, or the pros are saying, we're cool with this. We may look at it from a different lens than y'all do. You know, y'all are very opinionated and feel very strong for the country and some things that have happened over there. But somehow, some way, us as competitors and the content creators and the big names and what have you, we somehow see it different. And a lot of us are from different parts of the world. So there's a division, and it looks like it's only going to get bigger, but what does any of this mean? How y'all feeling? Let me know. That is Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you feeling about this damn Whopper. These buttons absolutely needed to be checked. More than likely, this will be the only video of the day. I'll try my best to do 1 or 2 tomorrow, but what do y'all feel about this? Do we really think this is dooming? A lot of people say the FGC done sold its soul a long time ago. Does it even matter? It's crazy, right? Because we were broke for so long. We love to talk shit about how poverty the FGC was, and we sang that song so good. It almost looked like we were the redheaded stepchild of esports. They didn't want to mess with us. Now, what do they say? Beggars can't be choosers? Because let's be real, we was begging in a way. Now here we go, we got this. And the money is coming in, and things are growing. But a lot of people are so apprehensive, like, oh, did we really want it like this? At this cost? Is we ready? I don't know, it just feels like a changing of the guard, right? Because a lot of the old heads that started the FGC, they're like my age now, right? Upper 30s, 40s, hell, some even 50s. And it seems like the more we go into this, you're gonna see the new and up-and-comers, right? What do you got? Your Blazes, you know what I'm saying? Your Crimes. You're gonna see them come in, their generation. They're not even gonna know where we came from. They're not even gonna really understand all that. They're just gonna come into the new thing, the new esports, and be like, all right, this is cool. This is what it is. I get paid. Either way, I can go for a long time. Oh my God, I feel like I need to do a podcast on this. Either way, how y'all feeling? Thank you guys for the amazing love, man. We will see you soon with that. Either way, I don't know what it is. I'm talking too long, but I know somehow, some way, despite all this, somehow, y'all, hey, somehow it's about to get better. Love y'all, fellow. Peace.